First contact. Leon Chun pressed his palm against the viewport, watching as the space station Nerever grew from a distant sparkle to an impossibly elegant structure. Unlike the utilitarian Earth outposts, Nerever resembled a massive coral formation, with organic curves and branches extending in seemingly random patterns. The entire station pulsed with subtle blue-green light that reminded him of bioluminescent ocean creatures back home. Atmospheric compatibility confirmed, announced the shuttle's AI. Docking in 3 minutes. Ambassador Chun, your diplomatic credentials have been accepted. Leon straightened his uniform and touched the translator implant behind his ear. This mission was humanity's first formal diplomatic exchange with the Neravians, a species discovered only 18 months ago. His superiors had chosen him for his background in xenolinguistics and calm temperament, qualities they believed would serve humanity well in establishing peaceful relations. The docking procedure completed with a gentle shudder, and Leon gathered his few possessions before approaching the airlock. It cycled open to reveal a corridor that seemed to breathe, its walls contracting and expanding subtly as though alive. The air carried a sweet metallic scent that tickled his nose. Ambassador Chun, came a melodious voice from the shadows. Welcome to Nerever. A figure stepped forward, tall and graceful. Her skin had a pearlescent quality that caught the pulsing light, and her eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle pattern, were deep violet with flecks of silver. She wore flowing garments that seemed to shift colors with her movements. I am Kelara, diplomatic liaison to Offworlders, she said, bowing slightly. I trust your journey was comfortable? Leon returned the gesture. Very much so, thank you. I'm honored to be here. Good, she replied, her middle eye blinking independently of the others. Please, follow me. As they walked, Leon noticed how the corridor lights intensified around them, then dimmed after they passed. He wondered if it was his imagination or some technological response to their presence. I must inform you, Kelara said suddenly, stopping at an intersection. Your visit has created quite a stir among our leadership. Elder Thalys has requested your presence immediately. Elder Thalys? I was expecting to meet with your diplomatic committee first. Kelara turned to face him, stepping closer than human social norms would dictate as comfortable. Her scent reminded him of cinnamon and ozone. She wants you in her chamber, human, Kelara whispered, her voice carrying an undertone he couldn't quite identify. It is ... unusual. In my 5 cycles as liaison, no off-worlder has ever been summoned directly to the Elder's private chambers. The lights around them flickered intensely, and Leon felt a strange vibration through the floor. Kelara's eyes widened slightly. Curious, she murmured. The station seems to be responding to you already. She studied him with newfound interest. Perhaps Elder Thalys was right about you after all. Right about what? Leon asked, suddenly uneasy. That remains to be seen, Kelara replied, gesturing for him to continue following. But I suggest we not keep her waiting to find out. The matriarch's design, the journey to Elder Thalys's chambers, took Leon through the heart of Nerever Station. Each section they passed seemed alive, with walls that subtly changed texture and doorways that formed and dissolved as needed. Kelara walked with practiced grace, but Leon noticed how she occasionally glanced at him with unveiled curiosity. The station appears to be responding to you, she said, indicating the light patterns that trailed them like luminous fish following a boat. This is most unusual. Before Leon could reply, they arrived at an ornate entrance that spiraled open at their approach. The chamber beyond was vast, with a domed ceiling that displayed what appeared to be a real-time map of surrounding space. In the center stood a raised platform where a figure waited, tall and imposing. Elder Thalys was striking her skin more iridescent than Kelara's, with age lines that glowed with inner light. 6 thin appendages extended from her shoulders, each ending in what looked like sensory organs. When she spoke, her voice resonated not just in Lion's ears but seemed to vibrate through his chest. "Ambassador Chun," she said, "your neural pattern is exceptional." Leon bowed respectfully. "Thank you for receiving me, Elder. I bring greetings from Earth's United Diplomatic Corps." "Yes, yes," Phallus waved dismissively with one of her smaller appendages. "The formalities can wait. I'm more interested in what you bring unknowingly." She descended from the platform and approached Leon, circling him slowly. "Our sensors detected it the moment your shuttle entered our space. A harmonic frequency in your neural activity that resonates with our technology. See how the lights follow you? The station recognizes something in you." Leon glanced at Kalara, whose expression remained carefully neutral. "I don't understand. I'm just a diplomat." "You are far more," Phallus replied. "In our entire history, only 3 non-Neravians have displayed this resonance pattern. It suggests compatibility with our deepest technologies, ones powered by consciousness rather than conventional energy." The Elder gestured, and a holographic display appeared, showing what Leon recognized as brainwave patterns his own, taken without his knowledge, alongside another pattern. "This," she indicated the second pattern, "is Kalara's neural signature. Notice the similarity in the delta wave formation? Extraordinarily rare between different species." Kalara stepped forward, her composure briefly slipping. "Elder, you didn't mention this compatibility was with me specifically." "Because it wasn't relevant to your duties, liaison," Phallus replied coldly. "But it is relevant to mine." Turning back to Leon, the Elder's tone softened. "Ambassador Chun, I require your participation in several tests. These resonance patterns could revolutionize our interstellar communications technology. Your people stand to benefit greatly from such advancements." Leon felt the weight of diplomatic responsibility press upon him, but something in Kalara's subtle tension made him cautious. "I would be honored to assist, Elder Phallus, though I would appreciate more information before committing." "Of course," Phallus smiled, though it didn't reach her eyes. "Kalara will provide you with all the necessary details. You'll be working closely together during your stay." As they were dismissed, Leon noticed the chamber lights pulsed in time with his heartbeat, which had quickened inexplicably when Phallus mentioned working with Kalara. Outside in the corridor, Kalara touched his arm lightly. "Be careful what you agree to," she whispered. The Elder rarely reveals her true intentions until it serves her purposes. The lights around them flared brilliantly in response to their touch, and for a moment, Leon felt a strange echo of Kalara's emotions concern. Curiosity and something warmer, more personal. Their eyes met in startled recognition of the connection, and Leon wondered what exactly he had stumbled into on this alien station. Forbidden's frequencies. 3 days into his stay on Nerever, Leon had learned more about neural resonance technology than he had ever expected. Kalara had been assigned as his guide and research partner, explaining how the Nerevians had evolved to use their consciousness as an energy source for their most advanced technologies. "The station itself is semi-sentient," she explained as they walked through a garden chamber filled with bioluminescent plants. "It responds to emotional and neural patterns, particularly strong ones. That's why the lights follow you. Your pattern is stimulating to our systems." Leon watched as a nearby flower bud unfurled in response to his proximity. "And our shared resonance? What does that mean exactly?" Kalara hesitated. "It's rare even among our own kind. When 2 patterns align so perfectly, they can create a feedback loop of increasing power. Historically, such pairs became our greatest innovators and leaders because they could access deeper levels of our technology." "Is that why Elder Phallus is so interested in us?" "Partly," she admitted. leading him to a secluded bench beneath a canopy of glowing vines. But I suspect there's more. The tests she scheduled for tomorrow... They're typically used for weapons calibration, not communications research. Leon felt a chill despite the comfortable temperature. You think she wants to weaponize this connection somehow? I can't be certain, Kalara said, unconsciously moving closer. But I've served the Elder for many cycles, and I've never seen her so focused on an off-worlder before. As they sat together, the plants around them began pulsing with increasing intensity, responding to their proximity. Leon was acutely aware of Kalara beside him, her son. The subtle movement of her breathing, the way her skin seemed to glow from within. It's happening again, she murmured, looking at the responsive environment. Our patterns are synchronizing. Leon felt it too, a strange connection forming between them, as though an invisible thread linked their thoughts. Impulsively, he reached for her hand. When their fingers intertwined, the entire garden chamber flared with light so bright they had to shield their eyes. This is unprecedented, Kalara whispered when the light subsided to a manageable level. The resonance shouldn't be this strong so quickly. A small alarm began chiming from a panel nearby. Kalara moved to it, her expression growing concerned. We've triggered alerts in the station's central hub. They're registering power fluctuations throughout this entire section. Before Leon could respond, the chamber door slid open and two Narivian security officers entered, their formal attire marking them as Elder Thalas's personal guard. Liaison Kalara, Ambassador Chun, one announced formally. Your presence is required immediately. The resonance activity you're generating is interfering with critical station functions. As they followed the guards through corridors now flickering erratically in response to their presence, Kalara whispered to Leon, whatever happens, reveal nothing about what I told you regarding the weapons testing. Leon nodded subtly, but inside he was troubled. The diplomatic mission was rapidly becoming something far more complex and potentially dangerous. Yet beneath that concern was another, more personal realization. The connection he felt with Kalara went beyond mere neural compatibility. In just 3 days, she had become important to him in ways he couldn't fully articulate. When they entered the central operations chamber, Elder Thalas was waiting, her multiple eyes gleaming with what Leon could only describe as triumphant satisfaction. Well, she said, looking between them, it seems our experiment is progressing even faster than anticipated. Harmonic rebellion. The following day found Leon strapped to a reclined chair in what Elder Thalas called the harmonic chamber, a spherical room, lined with pulsing crystalline structures. Various monitoring devices were attached to his temples and wrists while Naravian technicians adjusted settings on holographic displays. The procedure is quite safe, Elder Thalas assured him from her observation platform. We merely wish to measure the full spectrum of your neural resonance capabilities. Leon nodded stiffly, remembering Kalara's warning. After yesterday's incident in the garden, they had been separated, Kalara reassigned to regular duties while Leon was escorted to isolated guest quarters. He'd spent the night watching the room's lights respond to his emotions, growing stronger whenever he thought of Kalara. Begin the baseline sequence, Thalas ordered. A soft humming filled the chamber as the crystals around Leon began to glow brighter. He felt a gentle pressure inside his mind, as though something was trying to synchronize with his thoughts. It wasn't painful, but the intrusion felt deeply personal. Remarkable, murmured one of the technicians. His pattern naturally amplifies our resonance field by 327%. Increase to level 3, Thalas commanded. The pressure intensified, and Leon gasped as images flashed through his mind-Earth's oceans. His childhood home and, strangely, vivid impressions of Kalara that he couldn't possibly know, her standing beneath twin moons on a world he'd never seen. Her younger self receiving her diplomatic insignia, her alone in her quarters last night, touching a wall that pulsed with light as she whispered his name. Fascinating. Dallas's voice seemed distant now. He's accessing station memory imprints of Liaison Kelara. The compatibility is even deeper than we projected. Through his increasingly blurred vision, Leon saw Thalas approach, her multiple eyes intense with focus. Ambassador Chun, I need you to concentrate on Kelara now. Think only of her. Despite his suspicions, Leon couldn't help but comply. Kelara had been dominating his thoughts anyway. The moment he focused on her, the entire chamber blazed with energy. The crystals sang with increasing pitch, and somewhere an alarm began blaring. Power surge detected throughout levels 5 through 9. A technician reported urgently. Systems overloading. Perfect, Thalas whispered, so quietly Leon almost missed it. This is exactly what we need. Suddenly, the chamber door slid open with a hiss, and Kelara burst in, flanked by 3 other Neravians wearing formal council insignias. Elder Thalas, one announced formally, you are conducting unauthorized weaponization research. The council demands an immediate cessation. Thalas turned, her appendages flaring with anger. This is my jurisdiction. The human's resonance pattern is the key to our defensive capabilities. Release him, Kelara demanded, moving toward Leon. The moment she entered the chamber, the crystalline structures pulsed in perfect synchronization with Leon's heartbeat, and the connection in his mind strengthened exponentially. As their eyes met, Leon saw images from Kelara's perspective, her discovering Thalas's secret files, her desperate appeal to the council, her fear for his safety. Somehow, their resonance had created a bridge between their minds. Stop her, Thalas ordered her guards, but the chamber's systems were responding to Leon and Kelara's combined presence now, creating barriers of light between Thalas's people and them. Kelara reached Leon and quickly began removing the monitoring devices. Can you stand? She asked, her fingers lingering against his skin. The entire station shuddered as their touch intensified the resonance effect. In the confusion, they slipped away from the chamber, running through corridors that opened before them as though Nerevar itself was helping them escape. Where are we going? Leon gasped as they ducked into a maintenance tunnel. To the core nexus, Kelara replied, her eyes glowing with determination. Thalas wasn't studying your pattern for communication, she was mapping it, to create a weapon that could disable any technology with a neural interface, including rival Neravian settlements. But why did she need me specifically? Because your pattern, combined with mine, creates a resonance powerful enough to break through neural shields, she explained as they descended deeper into the station. What she didn't anticipate was how deeply our patterns would actually synchronize or that the station would protect us. As they reached a sealed doorway, Kelara pressed her palm to its surface, and Leon instinctively placed his hand beside hers. The door dissolved instantly, revealing the heart of Nerevar, a massive chamber filled with swirling energy and light. The station's consciousness, Kelara whispered reverently. Now we'll show the council exactly what Thalas planned to do with our resonance. Resonant resolution. The core nexus hummed around them, a symphony of light and energy responding to their presence. At the center floated a pulsing crystalline structure that reminded Leon of a massive neural network, branches of luminous pathways connecting countless nodes. The true heart of Nerevar, Kelara explained, her voice hushed with reverence. Few ever see this place. It's both the station's brain and its historical record. They approached the central crystal, and as they did, Leon felt the strange mental connection between them strengthening again. Images, emotions, and even fragments of memories flowed between them with increasing clarity. What's happening to us? Leon whispered. The resonance is stabilizing, she replied, her eyes reflecting the swirling lights. In our history, there are legends of pairs whose neural patterns became permanently synchronized. They could share thoughts, feelings, even experience the world through each other's senses. The idea should have terrified him. Yet Leon felt only wonder and something deeper, more personal, that had been growing since they first met. Before he could respond, the chamber entrance dilated open, and Elder Thalos entered with the council members closed behind. "You've gone too far." "Liaison," Thalos hissed, her appendages rigid with fury. "Bringing an off-worlder to the core is forbidden." One of the council members stepped forward, older than Thalos, with skin that had faded to a translucent white. "The situation merits exception, Elder. We have reviewed your research files. You plan to weaponize the resonance pattern. For our protection." Thalos insisted. "The outer settlements grow more independent each cycle. This technology would ensure their continued loyalty." "You mean their subjugation?" Kalara countered. She turned to Leon. "Show them what we discovered. Open your mind to the core as I taught you." Leon closed his eyes and focused on the mental connection that now felt as natural as breathing. Together, they projected their shared consciousness toward the central crystal, which flared in response. Around them, holographic displays materialized, showing Thalos's plans in vivid detail, neural disruptors that could cause pain or even death. Systems to override the free will of those with compatible neural patterns. The council members moved closer, their expressions grave as they studied the evidence. The eldest turned to Thalos. "You have violated our most sacred principles. Neural technology is to enhance life, never to control or harm it." She gestured, and guards moved to flank the elder. "You will be removed from your position pending full investigation." As Thalos was escorted away, her final glare at Leon and Kalara carried both hatred and grudging respect. "You have no idea what power you've stumbled into," she warned. "That connection between you, it's permanent now. Neither of you will ever truly be separate again." After the others departed, Leon and Kalara remained in the core nexus, watching as the energy patterns gradually calmed. The eldest council member had stayed behind, observing them with keen interest. "What Thalos said is true," she told them gently. "The resonance bond you formed is extremely rare, especially between different species. It cannot be undone. What does that mean for us?" Leon asked, looking at Kalara. "I'm supposed to return to Earth in 2 weeks." The council member's eyes crinkled with what might have been a smile. "It means, Ambassador Chun, that we must reconsider the nature of our diplomatic relationship with Earth. Perhaps a more permanent exchange is in order. Later." Standing on an observation deck overlooking the stars, Leon and Kalara watched as a message drone departed for Earth, carrying his report and proposal for a joint research initiative that would require his extended presence on Nerever. "Are you certain about this?" Kalara asked, her hand finding his. "Your people may not understand what's happened between us." Leon smiled as the station lights pulsed gently around them, synchronized now with both their heartbeats in perfect harmony. "They'll adapt, just as we will." When their fingers intertwined, the resonance between them hummed with possibilities, not just of technological advancement, but of a deeper understanding between their worlds. And as Kalara leaned closer, her scent enveloping him like stardust, Leon knew that some connections transcended the boundaries of species, space, and even consciousness itself. "The station approves," Kalara whispered as the lights formed patterns of extraordinary beauty around them. "Is that important?" Leon asked, her lips curved into a smile as she moved closer. "It means we're home. Retriclod can make mistakes. Please double-check responses."